Hi, everybody. Happy Easter egg roll. Have you guys all rolled already? You all push it along with your spoon? So, well, I'm going to make some pasta today. So, we're really always thinking about healthy stuff. So we're going to do a little broccoli rabe pesto. Does anyone know what broccoli rabe is? Does anyone care? It's a... The grown-ups might. Hey, the kids are like, what? Is that a vegetable? Yes. It's a really delicious vegetable, and it's good for you. So we're going to start off, though. It's not all about the vegetables. We need to have, the fatty, delicious stuff, too. Am I allowed to say that on the White House lawn when we're talking about healthy stuff? I mean, we need to have some flavorful stuff. So we're going to brown a little bit of sausage. Of course, always yum. I always have room for pork products. All right, so little drizzle of olive oil, and we're going to add a little bit of spicy sausage in. If you're not a spicy sausage person, you can go ahead and just use regular sausage, sweet sausage. Or if you're not a sausage person at all, you can leave it out. But I don't recommend that. Why? Really? Okay, so we're just going to let this brown, and while that's happening, I have a pot of boiling water over here that we're going to add a little bit of salt to. Am I allowed to say the S word here on the White House lawn either? Salt. Hi, I'm Anne Burrell, and I'm inappropriate. I'm using sausage and salt on the White House lawn. Right? All right, so we're going to put our broccoli rabe in, and we're going to put this in and take it out really quickly. What we're doing is kind of cooking this through, but we're taking the bitter part out of it. Broccoli rabe is kind of a really bitter green vegetable, but if you give it a quick little blanch in some boiling water, and we're going to take it right out, it alleviates a lot of the bitterness, and it becomes a really interesting, delicious flavor. And we're going to puree this. I mean, pesto, when we think of pesto, we usually think of basil, right? And so sometimes we don't always have a ton of basil, so this is another way to go about the pesto world. So we're going to puree this with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a little bit of olive oil. And there's usually always a nutty factor in pesto. It's not just the Anne Burrell factor, that's the nutty factor today. We're going to use some pistachios, which are green and really delicious. I mean, I'm a huge fan of a nut, but pistachios are one of my favorite kind of nuts, so, other than myself. Okay, so we're just going to kind of brown the sausage as this goes. And we're going to, as it's browning, we're going to just kind of crumble it up a little bit. There we go. Smells good. This is like my pork sausage facial. That's a good thing. All right, so my broccoli rabe, I'm going to just give it a rough chop and then toss it in the food processor. And then we're going to puree away. The lovely thing about this is that this sauce can be a total do-ahead. You could have done this yesterday. Or, oh, that's a cutie little knife. So, and it's also good for, if you want to use it for other things than pasta. If you want to put it on top of some toast for a little crostino. Or, if you want to put it inside like a little sandwich or something like that. All good stuff. Do we have a question? Did I hear a question somewhere? Do we have any questions? Anybody? No? Okay. I mean, if you do, holler them out. No? Okay. Everyone's like, I don't know. All right. Okay, so we have a little broccoli rabe in there. We're just going to puree this to get it started. Little pulse. What the blanching does for the broccoli rabe also is it alleviates a little of the bitterness, but it also keeps the beautiful green color. I mean, when we talk about green vegetables, what color do we like them to be? Green, right? I mean, a lot of times we see green beans that they've kind of been cooked to death and they get army green and we're like, ew, those don't look very good. And when food doesn't look very good, you automatically jump to, it doesn't taste very good. But when you see food that looks really good, you think, that's delicious. So we always eat with our eyes first. Always keep that in mind. All right. I'll wipe down my board a little bit. So I have my really yummy pistachios. I'm a big fan of the pistachios, and they're green, so that's going to help with a little green color of our, this is what we call QC, quality control. You have to taste as you go to make sure it's delicious. Because if your food isn't delicious, there's something wrong, right? So if we don't taste it, we don't know if there's something wrong or right. All right, so, woo! My sausage is getting away from me here. All right. All right, so we're just kind of mashing this guy up, letting it go brown. It smells really good over here. Again, I'm continuing with my facial. All right, so we're going to add a little nuttiness to our pesto. We're going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You know why? Because it's not easy being cheesy. Oh, right? Cheap jokes, but I'll take them. This is like, my food jokes, like we're not nice to food. Like we beat eggs, we whip cream, All right. So we puree this a little bit more. We're going to stop. We're going to brush down the sides, I think. All right. Make sure everything gets really nice and pureed all together. Now, I have like one of my little super secret weapons going on over here. And we add just a spoonful of mascarpone cheese. Does anyone know what this is besides delicious? It's cheese. Yes, it's like Italian cream. Yes, because it's not easy being cheesy, right? Again. So it's like Italian cream cheese. And it kind of tastes like the sweetest, most delicious milk. It's like you could feel like the milk that the cows on the hillside of Lombardia in Italy ate, that were caressed by the spring breezes, and the cows ate this clover, and then it made this really delicious cream cheese. That's good stuff. But what it does also is it's going to make our pesto like sort of nice and creamy, that when we cook it together with our sausage and our pasta and our pesto, that it all comes together, and it says like, we all want to hang out together. We all get along really well. And so the sauce clings to the pasta. It's good stuff. All right. So we just give this a little more puree. Nice and smooth. Now we're going to give it a little pinch of the S word, salt. But salt makes things taste good. Accept it and move on. That's just the way it rolls. If you don't use salt, you will never be a good cook. We just don't need to go hog wild with it. But we can if we want. No, I didn't say that. I'm going to get in trouble. I feel the Secret Service like hunting me down already. Oops. Am I saying that? Hi, I'm on the White House lawn being inappropriate. Okay. A little olive oil to just kind of... There we go. So now we're going to brush down the sides one more. And you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to do, again, a little QC. What does that mean? I'm going to taste it. And how should it taste? Delicious! Right. How should food taste? Food should taste good. If it doesn't, there's something wrong. And if you don't taste your food and know it's delicious, you're doing the I hope it comes out method of cooking. And that's not the way we roll. We roll like I'm a rock star, so I taste everything and now it's delicious. Oh yeah, I'm doing good stuff. I'm going to puree this a little bit more. All right, I think that looks about done. So my pasta water, I saved my water that I blanched my broccoli rabe in for two reasons. One, I have the broccoli rabe flavor in here, and we have broccoli rabe pesto, so let's go ahead and just use that flavor. And second of all, I'm saving dishes. Like, I don't want to have to wash dishes. Like, hello? You know, the cooking part is way more fun than the cleaning up part. So I'm like thinking, look at me, always thinking. So I'm going to use a little bit of my orecchiette here. Now, orecchiette are these little round pastas. Orecchiette means little ears in Italian. So, like, look, we're about the same, right? Don't tell these guys any secrets. They'll hear you. All right, so we're just going to give these guys a little bit of cook in some water. And then we're going to toss it together with our broccoli rabe pesto and sausage. So we have this guy already. All right. So we have our sausage. It's nice and browned over here. We have a little bit of the pasta or the pesto to go in there. Looking good. All right, and then it comes out nice and green, and we have a lot of really yummy flavors going on here. We have the broccoli rabe, which is a really delicious flavor. We have a little bit of spicy sausage. We have the nutty pistachios. We have the salty parmigiano, and like all kinds of good stuff. And then it all sticks to the pasta. We're like, I am doing good stuff over here. So a little bit more pesto. There we go. And we're gonna add a little bit of our pasta water to this to kind of get things like all loosey-goosey. There we go. And then we're gonna cook our pasta together with this sausage and the sauce. That's always like a very important thing when we're cooking pasta. We don't just dump our sauce on top of the pasta. We cook it together. So we say, oh, everyone, like the sauce gives the pasta like a little hug, and it says, oh, hi, let's all come together and hang out together. And then they become extraordinarily delicious. So we cook these guys together for a minute, see it get all nice and hot, and then we're gonna put our pasta right in there. Alrighty. Here we go. And then we're gonna cook them together. Woo! Woo! And then we see everybody. Now the idea is with pasta and sauce is that you should have just enough sauce to really cling to all the pasta. And when you finish your dish of pasta, you have that last bite of pasta, you should have just enough to take a little piece of bread and like wipe up that rest of the sauce. And then your bowl should look so clean that you could put it right back in the cupboard. You should, right? That also says it's good stuff. We like to see the clean plate club. So, but that means that, your pasta is dressed appropriately. You shouldn't have a big soupy dish of sauce or water or all this in the bottom. So we cook everyone together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Now, when we see everything coming together perfectly and we're saying, oh, it's all dressed just nicely, we turn the burner off and we finish pasta like this. We add a little tiny bit of Parmesan cheese and a little tiny drizzle of big fat finishing oil, like our high quality olive oil. Just a little toss. And what this does, that olive oil, finishing that, makes your pasta so aromatic that when you sit it down in front of somebody, the first thing they want to do is like, oh, that smells so good. So it makes people hungry already, and people dig in and they tell you that you're a rock star. And they're like, all right. And you could say, I've been so busy making this, oh, I can't possibly do the dishes. Look at me, always thinking again, right? So, and what it does is it also like helps the pasta and the sauce just kind of cling together. It kind of seals the deal. It says, all right, yeah, you guys are best friends forever. And then we plate this guy and then we're done. All right? That's what we say, a POC, a piece of cake. All right. There we go. And we if we have any crud on the side of our plate, we say, all right, we clean that little guy up, finish it with another little tiny sprinky dink of cheese, and then we say, voila, all finished. Yay! Thank you guys very much.